Hey guys, how's it going? You're in for a treat today. Me and Nick have just finished spearfishing out sea, doing a bit of rock hopping off the rocks. We've got a few really good things to show you, some good footage, so stay strapped in for that. Today's video orientation is going to be a bit out of whack. The past 2 days we've been spearfishing out in the river, but I really want to play the footage that we got out off the coast today, right now, and then yesterday and the day before's footage later on in the video. Hopefully at the end we can snag up a bit of a catch and cook. I can show you how to cook all the things that we got, and hopefully we can have a nice feast. So heaps of bobbies just out here. We're going to work out here first, try and get some lobsters, and then we'll go around the corner and try and get some fish.
Ready to surrender my heart to you, only you. These lights all around me keep blinding my eyes from you and the truth. Don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me why. I know you won't save my life, save my life. Keep on, you're making the waves. You and I will never be safe, be safe. If the walls come down, will you pick me off the ground? If the walls come down, will you save me? Don't tell me why. I know you won't save my life, save my life. Baby, keep on, you're making the waves. You and I will never be safe, be safe. If the walls come down, will you pick me off the ground?
Had a bit of fun in the water, got a few lobsters. We racked a couple up each. There's a heap of little ones, about 20 or 30 little ones in each hole, but nothing too great. We ended up coming out with a couple, so I think that now we're going to do a bit of a swim around, try to find either a drummer or a blackfish, rib, something like that, and hopefully we'll be able to do a catch and cook with the lobster and a fish later on. So put your back on my head, let's keep going. Ah, bugger. Seems that I've contradicted myself again. So we'll get out of this water and chuck ourselves in the river, eh? We finally made it in through a massive rock crack. The swell actually picked up quite a lot after that last little talk that I had out on the reef. I think that's due to the tide going down. It was a really good dive. Didn't get any fish, but we got the lobsters, and we also have the fish from yesterday's dive. So one thing I love about rock hopping, hopping the rocks all the way up.
Reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high. Can't wait to see me now, 'cause lately you've been feeling down. You lay awake alone at night. I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Back my life inside a car. Hit the button, drive real far. Put that record on me, like, I'm dreaming of you, I dream of a new life. Fighting the dark till we see the sunlight. My love, it's you and I. Comes closer to that this time. Reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high. You can't wait to see me now, 'cause lately you've been feeling down. You lay awake alone at night. Pack your life inside a car. Forget the world and drive real far. Put that record on again. My love, it's you and I. Comes closer to that this fire. Reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high.
Rightio guys, so got our lobster here, been put in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes, so he's all asleep. Got some salted water here, pot of salty water on the boil. Gonna throw him in. Make sure it's salty water. Anything that comes from the ocean or river systems that have salt water should be cooked in salt water if you're boiling them. We'll throw him in. Good to go. Chuck the lid on. Now, Supposed to cook for about 6 minutes, but we're going to take him out a bit before then because I want to cook the rest of him on the pan in butter and the garlic. Rightio guys, so once the lobster's cooked, we're going to get it out, chop the tail off, chop the tail in half, rub some Woolworths minced garlic on it. That always seems to do the trick. Got butter here, sausages are in it at the moment, but we'll put the lobster tails face side down, meat side down in the butter. That should cook it pretty well. Take it out, let it cool down, and then finish it with this hollandaise finishing sauce. I would make it myself, but I'm pretty lazy at the moment, so awesome. So in regular GoPro fashion, the microphone's actually broken from cooking too hard, so I'll have to narrate the rest of this video on my computer. So what I've just put my hand in there is an ice bath. It's really good for getting the meat of the lobster actually detached from the shell, so that way it's easier to get out when you're eating it. So I'm just soaking it in that ice bath, leave it in there for about 5 minutes. So once the lobster's finished soaking in the ice bath, about 5 minutes like I said before, I'm going to take it over and attempt to cut it in half. So just watch what my knife is doing between the carapace of the shell and the actual tail. I'm going to run it either side of its carapace to separate the meat from the shell, like I'm doing now. Then I'm going to flip it over, do the same for the underneath. The underneath is the part that's going to be quite hard to get the knife through, so just bear with it. And once you feel like the tail's separated from the shell, just give it a bit of a pull, and it should pull straight out. So what I'm pointing to here is its guts. You want to try and get that out, as well as its poo chute, which we'll remove in a second. So as you can see, I've cut the carapace in half. Just make sure to get the guts out. Just use some running water and the guts should fall out of the carapace, which is the head, the two pieces on the left that are chopped in half. And right now I'm actually just chopping the tail in half, as you can see. Got to use a bit of pressure to get through the shell because it is quite thick. Okay, so once your lobster's halved, you got to find its poo chute. You'll see a brown line going down one side of the lobster's tail. Just pull that around, it should come straight out, and chuck that in your compost bin. That's full of sand, grit, and whatever else the lobster's been eating, and you do not want to cook your lobster with that in, as well as eat it. Alrighty, so the next step in cooking the lobster is to preheat the pan. So just get the pan nice and hot. I'm going to be rubbing the garlic paste onto the lobster, as well as seasoning the pan and getting it ready for the lobster with butter. Butter's usually the only ingredient I use to cook lobsters, as well as whatever coating you want to put on. It gives it a really nice flavour. So what I'm pointing to here in a second is the rawness of the inside of the lobster. As I said before, I only cooked it for 6 minutes. Usually it takes about 8 to cook all the way through, but I want to leave it a bit raw in the middle so that way I can finish the rest off in the pan. So what I'm going to do, grab the garlic and base it over the top of the lobster, not on the shell side as it doesn't penetrate through, so just on the meat side, try rub it in well. So as you can see but not hear, the pan's up to heat with the butter, and as I'm pointing out now, the purpose of that ice bath was to separate the meat from the shell, and you can see exactly why I do it. The meat is perfectly separated from the shell and the carapace. So that's all good. Now the meat's all seasoned with the garlic butter. I'm just going to face it meat side down into the pan. So it's been about 3 minutes now with the lid on, and the lobster should be cooked all the way through now. Just make sure that it's crispy gold on the meat side, and you should be good to go. So the lobster's cooked. I'm just going to dress it with a bit of hollandaise sauce, whack it on there, and also some chives for a bit of bling bling. Don't be afraid to put your own dressings on lobsters. Whatever sauces you like, whatever toppings you like, add it. You don't have to follow my recipe. You can just follow the fundamentals of cooking it, and it should turn out mint. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Remember to always subscribe, and I'm going to try push for some more videos in the next upcoming weeks. Thanks heaps guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this catch and cook. See yous.